Another big headline, it is Monday.
Oh, yes.
So we are back from the weekend, and the full team is here this morning, including Mr. Rodney.
Yes.
Can I throw out a headline for the weather?
Please.
Very wet week. At least I think. Am I right about that?
Yeah, no, you are correct. And the bigger headline, if I may, is that this Wednesday, Thursday, we finally transition into a much colder weather pattern that will be great news for mountain snow.
Nice.
So there you go. Here's a look at radar this morning. Mr. Carney said, it's raining out there. Yes, it is. That is snow down to 4,000 feet over the Cascades. Snow showers east of the Cascades. And, of course, just good old-fashioned rain here on the west side. To the bus stop we go. It's about 40 degrees everywhere. Portland, Salem, Albany, up through Vancouver. As you go outside this morning. 45, still pretty wet at noon. Kids get out of school, it will break more into scattered showers, but there'll still be some rain around, and about 47 degrees.
All right, we'll see you in a few minutes, Rod. Thank you. We begin this morning with the Omicron outlook along the West Coast. Cases of the new variant have been confirmed in Washington and California.
But as you mentioned right at the top of the show, there have not been any Omicron cases reported yet here in Oregon. KGW's Galen Etlin brings us this local COVID update.
People lined up Sunday morning to get their COVID vaccines and boosters.
So I'm really proud to see all the cars lined up here today.
That's John George of the Confederated Tribe of Grand Ronde, working with Wood Village and Oregon Health Authority to operate this high-volume vaccination site on the tribe's land.
It's nice to see that people actually are getting vaccinated.
The site on the former Multnomah Greyhound Park runs through Saturday the 11th, one of about a dozen in the works around the state offering Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson shots for both kids and adults. You do not need an appointment. The vaccination effort is ramping up as Omicron COVID cases pop up nearby.
We have been saying it's not a matter of if, but when, that we would find Omicron in our state.
The Washington State Department of Health confirmed 3 Omicron cases Saturday, making it the 13th state to detect the highly contagious variant.
I hope I'm wrong, but I expect we'll see many more cases in the coming weeks.
Early studies show the Omicron variant is easily spread, but there's no evidence it makes people sicker or that it resists vaccines. Oregon has not reported an Omicron case yet, and the Delta variant remains dominant nationwide. OHSU predicts the overall number of new COVID infections in Oregon will keep falling through February, but it is unclear if Omicron will impact that. Researchers also believe only about 18% of Oregonians are still susceptible to the virus. In the meantime, health experts on all levels urge people to get boosted and vaccinated. And leaders,
my role here today is to say thank you.
Like Mayor Scott Hardin in Wood Village, hope people continue prevention with masking.
We'll know that we did everything, we achieved great things despite the pandemic.
A world away from this time last year, with cases now trending down and vaccinations trending up.
Protect their own health, the health of their families, and the health of the people that they interact with every day in our community.
I'm Galen Etlin for KGW News.
Meanwhile, the Biden administration is pushing out federal vaccination sites across the country, and Washington will be home to one of the first sites. They are called Family Mobilization Clinics, and the one in Washington will be at the Federal Way Performing Arts Center in South King County. That's near Seattle. President Biden said the clinics will replace the mass vaccination clinics we had during the height of the COVID crisis and will also allow everyone from kids to seniors to get vaccinated or booster shots all in one spot. Governor Inslee is happy with it.
So this is continuing to add to our efforts to get vaccine to where people are. And we know there's considerable demand, as I indicated. It's going to increase our equity as well.
The clinic there in King County will open December 20th and run for about a month.
At least one person died after a plane crashed into a parking lot close to the Medford airport. Police say the 9-passenger prop plane crashed into a Chevrolet dealership. At first, police said only one person was on board, but now they say they're not sure how many people were on that plane. A person living nearby heard the entire thing happen.
I was in my room and then I heard the plane descending and then I heard just a big thud. So I was like, was that a plane crash? My neighbors went on their roof and they said that there was a fire. So I got up on top of the roof as well and I saw flames.
Police tell us they don't believe anyone on the ground was injured.
Back here in the Portland area, police are investigating 2 separate shootings that happened over the weekend. The first one was Friday night on East Burnside outside the Worst Bar. That's WURST. It's near the Bossa Nova Ballroom. 3 people were hurt there, And then on Saturday afternoon, police say a person was killed in a shooting that happened at an apartment in Gresham. A neighbor there says they heard several shots fired.
I was putting my son out for a nap and I'm laying in bed with him and I hear about 5 or 6 gunshots go off. And I couldn't tell if it was gunshots or a car backfiring. So I immediately jumped up, ran to the window, didn't see anything. Then I ran to the front door, make sure I locked it. And then soon thereafter, I heard a bunch of sirens.
So far, police haven't made any arrests, and they're asking anyone with information about either of these shootings to give them a call.
Well, authorities are getting a boost against a growing problem in Oregon, illegal pot farms. It is an especially serious issue down in the southern part of the state. So now Josephine County has approved almost $2 million in state funding for its marijuana enforcement team. It's more than the team would typically get. The sheriff's office says it's necessary to address the overwhelming number of illegal grows in the county.
We see massive grows that are hiding in plain sight, and it's at a scale that we don't have enough personnel.
The money will double the number of technicians and other positions on that team. Adding more people will help tackle more illegal grows and make more arrests.
On Saturday, Portland firefighters said goodbye to one of their own who fought cancer until he just couldn't fight anymore. Lieutenant Jerry Richardson is one of the 75 Portland firefighters who've died due to their job.
Devin Haskins joins us live right now with more on the story because, Devin, there is an effort underway to build a larger memorial that honors the sacrifice of these firefighters.
Yeah, Drew, there really isn't a dedicated memorial for all firefighters that have died while on duty or from work-related illnesses, but a nonprofit headed by a former firefighter wants to build a permanent, larger memorial. Currently on Southwest 18th and Burnside sits the David Campbell Firefighter Memorial. Now it's in honor of Fire Chief David Campbell, who died in 1911 at the Union Oil Fire in southeast Portland. It was built in the 1920s and has since turned into a place to honor other firefighters that have also died. There have been 75 Portland firefighters that have died on the job or from a work-related illness, the first back in 1881. About a decade ago, the David Campbell Memorial Association started raising funds to build a larger memorial. It would sit outside Station 21 on the East Bank Esplanade, that's on the other side of the Hawthorne Bridge. The new memorial would share the stories of those lost and give the public a place to better understand who each of the 75 were. The lack of funds, though, to get it built has stalled the process. To date, they've only raised about $233,000 of their $1.1 million goal. The group says bluntly it's time for less talking and more doing.
I don't mean it to sound this way, but I don't care if we put a rock in there and scratch their names into it. We can no longer not justly honor these heroes of the community. And so we've got it rolling. We're in the city permit process. We hope that it's going to move along at a pretty good rate now. These things take a little bit of time, but the plan has been in place and we actually have it rolling along.
Now, he also told me they're not going to wait until they reach their goal and hope to start, laying some of the foundation on the construction part of that. They can get the permits once they're finalized. To learn more, you can check out their website, davidcampbellmemorial.org. Drew?
That is a very determined group. Thank you very much, Devin, for that update. Rod Hill joins us now. Rod, I saw you running into the room here. Yes. You must have an urgent update for us weather-wise.
Announcing snow at Timberline Lodge. Snow at Timberline Lodge. That's my urgency. Here we go. Not a ton, but we have some, right? It's 33 degrees up there right now. Snow levels look like they're going to stand by at about 5,000 feet during the day today. But when we started the 5 o'clock half hour, I mentioned we have colder air, lower snow levels coming this week. So take a look at this. So get by today. Tomorrow, snow level to 6,000. Okay, but Wednesday, now we're in business. Wednesday afternoon, snow down to 2,000 feet. Thursday, snow level 1,500 feet. Wednesday and Thursday totals, conservatively speaking, around pass level 12 to 18 inches. So that's very promising news and the beginning of what we think will be favorable snow levels more than not the remainder of December, and that includes going into the upcoming Christmas and New Year's holiday break. So that's great news. Okay, moisture fetch coming into us right here. You can see it's pretty solid rain up and down I-5 on the west side, and then we have the snow showers across eastern areas. Not a stormy day, just a wet day overall here in the flat of the valley and also over at the coast. fairly dry up in Seattle right now. So if you are traveling early up and down I-5, you're going to find more steady rain all the way down to Eugene. 40 in Kelso, 41 Portland, Salem. The coast is about the same. Bend 34, again, snow showers out east with a lot of you seeing freezing temperatures. Here's your week ahead. 48 today. This is warmer air coming in. I know what we don't need, but 54 tomorrow. Mainly just some traces of rain, some drizzle around. Then the cold front on Wednesday, falling temps during the day, only 43 on Thursday, and then some dry time developing Friday into Saturday morning before another system hits Saturday night into Sunday, and that is your 7-day forecast.
Yay for resort snow, though. That's awesome. Thank you, Rod. Well, the town of Antelope is most famous for being the home of the Rajneeshis back in the 1980s. Decades later, one of the commune's old buildings is up for sale. Also coming up this morning, I know the song says you better not pout, you better not cry, but you may want to do both when you hear this. Santa, what? May not be coming to your town this Christmas? Our Verify team looks at whether there's actually a shortage of mall Santas.